Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a long time since I've posted up a video on YouTube, but as soon as I had posted my last one, I had some health problems along the way that's been affecting me to continue on doing my YouTube videos, but I'm getting better, and which is really good, and I'm really looking forward to my 23rd birthday, and I really hope it's just better than this year. I hope it's better than this year of being 22. Also, I just want to let everyone know this is not clickbait at all. A lot of people who really know me, they know that I would not lie about anything like this. There's some friends that know about this situation that happened with me, and they'll tell you that it's the truth because they went to go visit me at the hospital at the time. But those of you who don't know me that well, I just want to let you know that this is actually true. It actually is what led up to me having this situation happen to me, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start off by saying my story. Alright, so what I am gonna say is this right here is my book. This is actually my book, and I don't know if y'all can read it, but what it says, OMG, my mother was right about everything. I thought it was so funny, this little booklet. So when I saw it at the store, I was like, you know, I have to have this. Like, this just is so clever, so funny, because it's true, you know, moms always are right about everything. Anyways, so yeah, so hearing this, I brought this book right here because I wrote down everything that had happened. You know, I wrote down some information, like the dates. I just want to make sure that I wrote down the actual dates because I have everything like on my phone, and like all the things I put on the calendar, it's on my phone, and what I'm using to record this is my phone right here, so I can't really like go back and everything like that. So I wrote down everything right in here. Okay, all right. So what actually happened, so this was around February 8th of 2019, which is this year, was the day that I had a heart attack. And for me, I never thought in my life I would ever get a heart attack. You know what, thought I would get one, but like when I'm old and like viejita or something, you know, but you know, that wasn't what was expected. And prior to me having that heart attack, something else occurred, and that was on around February 6th and the 7th. So at that time, I was off for work that week for those 2 days, for February 6th and the 7th. Okay, and February 6th, you know, I did my usual routine. You know, when I'm off, I wake up, eat breakfast, go out to shopping and stuff like that with my sister. And you know, at the time, I always go to Subway, you know, because Subway was my go-to place, because I was actually working out for like I started working out at that time, maybe like around December is when I started working out every day, and I got protein shakes, and I took pre-workouts and things like that. So, you know, to me, I thought I was doing everything good, you know, being active, going to the gym, you know, I was getting in shape, you know, I was like feeling so good about myself, you know. And Subway was always like my go-to thing, because if I didn't get a meal prep, then I would go ahead and get Subway, something at that time I thought was like really healthy and everything like that. I would get my usual. I'll get like a whole wheat bread with Philly cheesesteak and cheese and green peppers and lettuce and spinach too. So at this point on February 6th, that time we went to go eat a lunch, and I went to go to this Subway that's close by to where I live. And the thing is, I never gone to eat Subway at that place, because I always get Subway when I'm around work. So I work like an hour. My work was like an hour away at the time. So I never eaten at this one. So I was like, you know, Subway's the Subway, right? So I go, and then I see that Subway has like this new special, and it was the new spinach wrap Philly cheesesteak that they had at that time. And I was like, well, that sounds really good, you know, I'm gonna change it up, like try something different, you know, this time, you know, not like the usual I would get. And it was actually really good though. To be honest, it was really good. So after lunch, you know, lunch passes, dinner comes, but before I eat dinner, I always go to the gym. So I would go to the gym with my mom. And then during halfway through my workout, I wasn't feeling good. I was starting feeling like a pain in my stomach. I was feeling nauseous, and I told my mom that no, like, let's go home. Like, I don't feel good. So we go ahead and we go home, and I drank some water. I was like, so the pain kind of, it wasn't that much. So I was like, you know, maybe I just need to drink my protein shake. Maybe I just need dinner. You know, maybe that's why it hurts. So I go and I eat dinner, which is a protein shake, and then that night I wake up and I can't go to sleep. It's like maybe around midnight. I go to the bathroom, you know, and when I did the bathroom, it wasn't, you know, I'm not gonna get too much into detail, but yeah, it was not really good. And then I was like trying my best not to throw up because I hate throwing up. I cry. So, and then eventually I threw up. So I spent the whole, from 12 midnight all the way to like maybe like 3 in the morning, I was like constantly just throwing up. Everything it was horrible. It was like the worst. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just, man, it was bad. And then what I was glad was that I didn't have work the next day, because since it was during my 2 days off of work, which is the 6th and the 7th, which was Wednesday and Thursday, I was able to, you know, be able to hopefully have that pass by the time I go into work on Friday, which would be the 8th of February. And then I finally go to sleep like around maybe 3 something, close to 4. And then I wake up again, like really early again, like around, I think at that time it was like maybe like 7 or 8 o'clock. And I threw up, and I kept throwing up like so much, like I could not keep, I tried to drink water, and if I drank water it would just come right back out. So I was, all that water and all that was just not having it for me. And then after that, my dad, he heard me throwing up and everything, and he asked me to go to the doctor, and my older sister to take me to the doctor, because I could not drive. Like I was feeling so awful, like everything hurt in my back, like everything was just like fatiguing because all the throwing up and constantly. And then sorry, it's like kind of hard to talk about. And then after that, my sister, on her way to the doctor, was still throwing up. I had a bag with me. Driving on her way over there, I was still like constantly throwing up. I could like barely pick myself up but kind of stay awake because I was so sleepy, not getting enough sleep, and then also having not enough liquids or any food in my system for the past couple hours was just horrible. And then after that, we get to the doctors, and it's a constant long wait. It was like the longest wait, and that's because there was literally no one there, and we still had to wait there for a very long time. And they heard me throwing up, because even when I got there to the doctors, I was still throwing up, and I even fell to my knees and on the toilet like throwing up, because my body I could not, like literally I could not feel like the strength, like como se me fue todo, and it was just awful. And then my sister, she was like, she's never seen me get like that before. I never gotten like that before. And after that, they finally called me, and my sister's there carrying me, like helping me like go to the door to the doctor. And then we get there, they take us to the room. It's still taking the doctor a long time to get there, and I'm throwing up there in that little trash cans that they have there in the room to the doctor. I'm throwing up, Then the doctor finally gets there, and then I tell her how I was feeling and everything, and what I had ate the day before. And she had told me that she been getting calls from other people that have actually gotten sick from eating from that Subway. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wow. It ended up being food poisoning that I had gotten there from Subway. So it wasn't just me feeling like that, it was like other people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just had to like be one of those people, you know. But either way, like I'm just kind of like, I don't know why people didn't call, like, you know, the health inspector or something like that to call. And thinking back at it, like I wish I would have called the health inspector, but I couldn't because I had other things that also happened after my heart attack, and I'll get to it right now. It's just, bear with me, okay? I'm trying to speed up with this process, okay? So then she gives me a shot, the doctor, because supposedly it should help with my nausea eating. So as soon as she put that shot on me, and then maybe like maybe like 5 minutes later, I threw up, and it was like nothing else came out. So it was just everything was coming out. And then me and my sister, we went to the HEB because the doctor also prescribed me like an antibiotic to take when you have food poisoning, which I did not know that you were supposed to take an antibiotic. Some people say that you're not supposed to take any antibiotics when you have food poisoning. So I don't know if that's true or not, but when I went to the hospital, they actually told me that she should have never prescribed me that antibiotic to take, and it was actually this one. And I have it right here. This is actually one of my medicines. So I brought actually my medications that I've taken that I have here, and then I also wrote down one of them that I remembered that I also took, but I don't have it here because that one I actually had finished that one. But this one is called ciprofloxacin tablet, and this one was actually to help me like prevent me from throwing up, and then also to get rid of that virus that's in there. But supposedly when I researched it, it said that when you have food poisoning, you're not supposed to take any antibiotics because it's just, your body is just supposed to naturally let it all out, you know, and that should only last you like a day or two, that they say. So I don't know why that doctor prescribed me that, and then also had gave me a shot, and she didn't really tell me what that name of that shot was, so I don't know what that name of that shot was. And then so yeah, we went to HEB to pick up actually that medication. And then after that, while my sister was at HEB, I was in the car and I was throwing up and everything. Like nothing would stop me from throwing up. I was like constantly throwing up, and I was so tired. And then as soon as we got home, I like knocked out. I woke up maybe around, let's say like, it was like that day around, I think it was like around the afternoon. No, not this one, it's this one. Yeah, so this one, yeah, so that one, they actually, after they prescribed me that one, I actually took maybe like one of these that they took me. So after I woke up, it was in the afternoon, I actually started feeling like I was hurting like bad, like my back was hurting me and my chest was hurting me too, and I was like I felt very discomfort, and I was like, maybe it's just since I was throwing up all that pressure, maybe it was just caused me to just get like that, you know. And then so I was telling my mom, like, you know, some like my chest hurt, like it was hurting me bad, you know, and like I just felt like this thing here, like kind of like a knot. And my mom was just telling me that maybe like just drink something because you haven't drank nothing, you know, because since I threw out everything. So I would drink Powerade and, you know, eat a little bit of saltine crackers, and, you know, it finally, like, I was kind of like, you know, easing up to like eat and stuff. but that pain, it hurt, it still hurt. So after I told my mom, like, it hurt really bad, like I feel like there's something wrong. After that, my mom and dad, they and my family, well, we basically all went to the hospital, and we told them like how I'm getting discomfort, and then we told them how I had food poisoning, and we explained everything that the doctor prescribed me, that medication, and then also the shot. And they're like, they checked like my blood and everything like that, and they're like, no, it's fine, like we'll just give you like you're just dehydrated, because I didn't have any water, any liquids. So, and then they also gave me some sort of medication or something in there to help me with the nausea, or to help me not vomit later on. And then after I finished like the bag of the IV, like I was starting to feel a lot better. Like the pain there was like, it was gone. I was like, and I felt so much better. Like I felt like, oh man, like I feel so much better. Like I could definitely go to work, on the next day. And I think, but around that time, it was actually, because we got to the hospital, because it was night, and then by the time they attended us, it was like by the time we left, actually, the hospital was like maybe 2 in the morning. And I had told my boss that I wasn't gonna be able to make it in on Friday, because since I had just gotten out from the hospital and all that stuff that was happening, the doctor had given me an excuse to not go into work for I think for 2 days, and for Friday and Saturday. So I was excused from work at that time. And then so we go back to the house, and I go to sleep, and I had like the best night's sleep ever since throwing up from Wednesday all the way through like Thursday. So that was like the best night's sleep I ever gotten. And then after that, I woke up and I felt the pain again, and it was so, like, I was just watching TV. I was watching Teresa. That's what I was watching. I was watching Teresa, and I'm there on the couch, and I feel this comfort in my chest again, like how I got in. But this time it was like pressure, like I felt like someone just kind of like that, and I was like, my back was starting to hurt me really bad too. I was like, I sat up real quick, I'm like, and then it hurt a lot when I was starting breathing, and I was like it just felt like I couldn't move. And I was like telling my mom, and I was like crying, and I was like, Mom, there's something wrong. And I just felt like there was like this elephant or this person on top of me, just like couldn't. It hurt so bad. It was just a pain that I could never ever describe, because it was just horrible. It was the most awful pain I've ever had, and the worst experience I've ever had in my life. And I never want anyone to experience that at all, like at all. And I just, at that time I was just telling my mom, like, I was saying I want to die, because literally I felt like that. I never thought I would ever say those words, but I literally said those words because that's how awful it was. And no one is ever gonna tell you otherwise of how that feels unless someone has actually told you that, and I think for those people who are first responders and having to save a person's life, when it comes to having that, at that time I didn't even know I was having a heart attack. I didn't. My mom didn't. My mom wanted us to just stay home and we'll just pass, but I was telling my mom, no, something's wrong. Like, I never felt like that ever before. And then that's when we go to the hospital again, and the nurses that were there taking care of me that same day, they're like, "You're back again?" And after they took me in, they did a EKG. They did also they checked my blood again, and then they were saying about my troponin levels on my blood were actually at a 23. So the troponin levels detects whether or not you have a heart attack, and mine was a 23. And usually the normal rate is supposed to be I believe, either a 5 or a 0. I'm not too sure, but they told me that mine was at a 23, which was high. But they were like, you know, it's good that I got there, you know, because that way they could, you know, prevent it. Because as soon as I got there, they put me back on the IV and they gave me some sort of like medication or some. They injected something. It was like kind of brown, and they injected that. And after that, excuse me, that's when they told us like it was high and whatnot. So I was like I didn't know like what to say, you know. I was like, well, that's weird, you know. But at that time, he didn't really tell me that I had a heart attack. He just said that it was high. So we didn't even know what a troponin was at the time until I did like some of the, you know, I was asking questions to the doctor, but it just seemed like they didn't want to say anything to me. Like, you know, they just told me that they were gonna have to do a heart cath on me. So the next day, which was Saturday morning, they were gonna put me in for surgery to have a heart cath. After I went ahead and had that heart catheter, I was so scared because I've never had any surgeries before in my life ever. You know, I've been so terrified of having a surgery because I'm always thinking like, what if I don't wake up? And the fact that it was gonna be in my heart, that even scared me a lot more. And I had to sign a lot of papers, and they even told me like, you know, if, you know, since it's gonna be my heart, you know, if my heart stops, like if I would want them to resuscitate me, it's a paper, I forgot what it's called, but they had me sign it, and I said yes, of course. Sorry. So then after that, I was kind of like, you know, I was preparing myself mentally and emotionally about it. I was trying not to stress myself out because of my heart, because they were gonna try to see what it cost me to have that, in order to see if there was no blocked arteries or anything like that in there. They were talking to me about, you know, about if there was something in there that they would have to put a stent in there. So the good thing is that the whole surgery went well. They actually didn't find anything that was causing me to have that on my heart. So a lot of people were actually really shocked that I had a heart attack, because they were like, what, you had a heart attack? Because I was young, you know, I'm young, I'm 22 years old, and you know, I have a heart attack. And I didn't know that, you know. I thought maybe there's been some younger people that have had heart attacks, but you know, it's like I've been trying to look for answers to why that happened, and I don't know why that happened. But you know, I guess just things just happen for a reason, you know, and we just have to prepare ourselves. We just have to prepare ourselves for anything that comes our way. But after I had gotten off of surgery, like, it was just like, I felt so like it's just awful, you know. And then they had me try to move and walk it around. I think an hour after surgery. It's really hard to like describe. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know I had a heart attack at the time, and then they explained to me that it was a mild heart attack, and then I was scheduled to see the cardiologist later on that month, which should be the 22nd of February, which was maybe like 2 weeks after my heart attack. And the cardiologist, he took care of me. He did an amazing job, him and other doctors, which I really thank them all for helping me with that, and all the doctors and staff that were there at the hospital that attended me every day and for the whole week. Thank you so much. And just usually I just never really talk about this, you know. Only my certain friends know about this, and my family of course know about this, but you know, I just kind of felt like I really needed to talk about this, because not a lot of people know about the risk of having a heart attack at such a young age. Like, no one really knows that you could actually have a heart attack being this young, you know. I really hope that, you know, from this video, I really do hope that some of y'all are able to take aware of, you know, the risk of having a heart attack and be aware of what could cause a heart attack, and just to be healthy, even when you are healthy, like, because at the time I was healthy, you know, I was healthy and everything, and the doctors, even when I was there at the hospital, when they checked on my blood and everything like that, they even told me I was healthy, and they were just so shocked of how can a healthy person have a heart attack just out of the blue. So yes, I did have a heart attack, and you know, it was first Subway eating there with food poisoning, and then from that food poisoning I ended up getting a heart attack. And the doctors don't know how that happened. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened, you know, and I really want to know why that happened, or how that happened. Like, was it because there was too much pressure from all the throwing up? Maybe that was too much pressure or something like that. I don't know. And I'm so sorry that this video is so long. I also had something else that happened with me after my heart attack, and I'll actually put that on a separate video from this, okay? Alright, so thank you all so much for watching, and if you saw it all the way through, thank you so much for hearing out from my bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. You know, it was something life-changing experience for me, and not a lot of people know about that, and I just really want to help people who have dealt with anything like this. That I want them to know that, you know, there is always a solution. There's always a way to get through this, to get over this, you know, and just enjoying every day with your loved ones and your family members. Like, just enjoying every day with everyone. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching. Bye.